When Jesus called God Father, he was not simply adopting common language. There was a deep weight behind these words, something that goes far beyond what most people realize. Forgotten texts and apocryphal books reveal a hidden dimension of this relationship. What can these writings teach us? And imagine a spiritual knowledge that has been silenced over the centuries, an understanding about the origin of everything that surrounds us. The concept of Father is not limited to being a mere title. It represents the essence of creation, the primordial energy from which all life emanates. These texts, which many have tried to hide, suggest that Jesus wanted his followers to see God not only as the Creator, but as the source of unconditional love and the true essence of each of us. As we explore these hidden revelations, intriguing questions arise. What does true divine fatherhood tell us about our own nature? How can these teachings transform our view of the divine and ourselves? Get ready for a journey that could change everything you thought you knew about God and the universe. In Jesus' teachings, the word Father takes on a new meaning that goes beyond the familiar. This nomenclature reflects an intimate relationship where God is not just a distant figure, but someone close who cares and cares. In canonical texts, such as the Gospels, Jesus frequently refers to God as Father, creating an emotional and spiritual connection that invites believers to see divinity in a more personal way. This approach is an invitation for people to feel welcomed and loved. Furthermore, in apocryphal texts, the figure of the Father is explored with different nuances. In these writings, the relationship between human beings and God deepens, showing a more intimate and revealing side of the divine. The word Father not only represents authority, but also unconditional love, which cares about the well-being of its children. This transforms the perception of divinity, making people seek a closer and more meaningful relationship. The metaphorical meaning of the term Father also raises questions about God's fatherhood and motherhood. This duality suggests that divine characteristics are not limited to a single gender, but encompass the totality of love and wisdom. It is a way of showing that divinity is accessible and that believers can relate to this force in a direct and personal way. Another point to be highlighted is the importance of prayer. When Jesus teaches the Lord's Prayer, he is not only providing a model of prayer, but also reaffirming the idea that everyone is children of the same Father. This reinforces the notion of community and interconnection between people. This vision can be a powerful motivator for actions of love and solidarity. This redefinition of the concept of Father in the teachings of Jesus continues to resonate in contemporary spirituality. The way God is seen directly influences how people relate to each other and to the world. This new perspective can be transformative, promoting a more inclusive and loving spirituality. The so-called lost books, such as the Gospel of Thomas and the Gospel of Philip, bring alternative views on the nature of God and the human relationship with the divine. These texts offer an approach that often deviates from traditional narratives, presenting deeper, more esoteric knowledge. In them, God is seen as a source of wisdom that reveals itself in unexpected ways, defying conventional understanding. In the Gospel of Thomas, for example, Jesus' words are presented as direct teachings that encourage inner searching. This focus on self-knowledge suggests that true understanding of God comes not just from dogma or ritual, but from direct personal experience. This leads readers to reflect on their own spirituality and seek answers within themselves. The Gospel of Philip, on the other hand, explores the idea that union with the divine is a transformative experience. The mystical and poetic language of this text highlights the importance of love and spiritual connection. Here, God is seen as an entity that wants to be understood and loved, which changes the dynamics of the relationship between human beings and divinity. These alternative views also raise questions about the exclusion of certain texts from the canonical tradition. The history of the Church has often silenced voices and teachings that could enrich divine understanding. By exploring these lost texts, today's spiritual seekers can find new ways to relate to the sacred, broadening their perspectives on spirituality. The esoteric wisdom contained in these lost books offers a path to discovering a more authentic spirituality. By considering these teachings, people may feel encouraged to question their beliefs and seek a deeper connection with the divine beyond the limitations imposed by rigid traditions. The idea of God as the source of love and creation is central to Jesus' teachings. When he refers to God as Father, Jesus is highlighting that divine love is the force that drives all creation. This vision transforms the understanding we have about divinity, revealing a being who wishes good for everyone. Thus, the relationship between God and humanity is based on unconditional love, which is the essence of creation. This concept of love also extends to the idea that each person is an expression of that love. When it is recognized that God is the origin of all love, it changes the way individuals see themselves and interact with each other. This vision promotes a culture of compassion and empathy, where people are encouraged to love and care for each other, reflecting the divine nature in their actions. Furthermore, the notion of creation becomes more than just an initial act. It is an ongoing process. God, as Father, is constantly creating and recreating, and this implies that everyone has a role to play in this process. Every act of love, every gesture of kindness contributes to building a more harmonious and connected world. This shared responsibility can inspire people to engage in actions that promote justice and peace. Understanding God as a loving creator also has profound implications for the way people face challenges and adversity. Knowing they are under the protection and love of a divine Father can provide comfort and hope in difficult times. This spiritual security is fundamental for strengthening faith and resilience in the face of life's difficulties. This view of God as the source of love and creation not only transforms individual spirituality, but also has the potential to impact society as a whole. When people internalize this truth, they become agents of change, working to create a world where love and compassion are the driving forces. This is a message that continues to resonate and inspire those seeking a deeper relationship with the sacred. Occult teachings reveal a fascinating perspective on the relationship between humanity and the divine. The idea that God is a reflection of the true essence of each human being suggests that, on some deep level, we all share an intrinsic connection with the Creator. This vision promotes a sense of unity that transcends individual differences. Rather than seeing God as a distant being, this approach invites people to recognize their own inner divinity. When we talk about God as Father, many are faced with the notion that this fatherhood is a projection of what already exists within us. Thus, the image of God is not just an external figure, but a mirror that reflects the qualities we all possess, such as love, compassion, and creativity. This encourages deeper self-exploration, leading each person to seek these characteristics in their own lives. The interconnection between the human and the divine becomes a source of self-knowledge. This line of thought also suggests that the ability to love and create is not exclusive to God, but a common inheritance for us all. When we recognize this, the way we relate to each other and the world around us can change significantly. This understanding can promote empathy and solidarity, as it becomes easier to see others as extensions of ourselves and, therefore, as reflections of the divine. Furthermore, this perspective of unity can help dissolve barriers between different beliefs and spiritual traditions. When we realize that we are all, in some way, manifestations of the same essence, the idea of division and conflict becomes less relevant. This more inclusive vision can promote interfaith dialogue and more harmonious collaboration between diverse expressions of faith. By adopting this view that we are reflections of the divine, we are invited to live more consciously and responsibly. This awareness leads us to act in ways that honor this sacred essence in ourselves and others. Thus, spirituality becomes a journey of discovery, where each step is guided by the quest to cultivate what is most divine within ourselves. The history of spirituality is marked by the exclusion of several teachings that could enrich our understanding of God and life. The suppression of texts that speak about the fatherhood of God and human nature has had a profound impact on contemporary beliefs. Many of these writings, considered apocryphal, offer alternative views that challenge the official narrative and can help us better understand who we are. These occult teachings have often been silenced for political and social reasons, the need to maintain control over the indoctrination and interpretation of the faith has led to the exclusion of voices that might question the status quo. This process of suppression has not only distorted the image of God, but has also shaped spirituality in such a way that many feel disconnected from their own essence. When we analyze these implications, we realize that the absence of these teachings results in a limited view of divinity. The idea of a distant God, who does not have an intimate relationship with humanity, solidified, making many feel alienated. This disconnection can generate feelings of loneliness and despair, especially in times of crisis. On the other hand, rediscovering these teachings can be liberating. When we begin to explore these forgotten voices, we can find a sense of belonging and oneness with the divine. This quest for a more authentic and inclusive spirituality can bring about a renaissance of practices and beliefs that resonate with the true human essence. Thus, analyzing the suppression of occult teachings invites us to reflect on how we can reevaluate our current beliefs and make room for a richer and more diverse spirituality. This journey of rediscovery not only helps us better understand the nature of God, but also strengthens our connection with ourselves and others. Jesus' teachings about the Father figure have a significant impact on the way spiritual seekers connect with the divine today. This rediscovery of the concept of Father can be seen as an invitation to intimacy and a personal relationship with God. In a world where spirituality is often treated in a distant and institutional way, the idea of a God who presents himself as Father offers a new path. This connection is a reminder that spirituality does not need to be restricted to rules and dogma, but can be a personal and meaningful journey. Additionally, this new approach allows people to feel more comfortable exploring their own spiritual beliefs and experiences. By recognizing God as a loving Father, many feel encouraged to seek a more authentic relationship with the sacred. This also opens up space for deeper internal dialogue, where people can question, explore, and grow without fear of external judgment. Spirituality, therefore, becomes a space of acceptance and reflection. Spiritual seekers also begin to realize that this relationship with the Father is not just about receiving love, but also about reflecting that love in their lives. The idea that each person is an extension of divine love transforms the way they interact with the world and with others. This understanding generates an impulse for more compassionate and supportive actions, as they recognize that, by loving others, they are, in fact, expressing the essence of the Father. The rediscovery of the concept of Father also resonates with many who seek deeper meaning in their lives. Understanding God as the source of love and creation can be a powerful motivator for personal transformation. This understanding inspires people to let go of limiting beliefs and embrace a more expansive view of life and the cosmos. Spirituality stops being something merely theoretical and becomes a practical and daily experience. A renewed relationship with God as Father can serve as a starting point for building more inclusive and welcoming spiritual communities. As more people connect with this vision, the possibility of creating stronger, more meaningful bonds between individuals grows. This transforms not only each person's personal experiences, but also the collective dynamics, promoting a space of love, understanding, and unity among all spiritual seekers. And as we embark on this journey of discovery, it is fascinating to see how the figure of God as Father turns out to be such a profound and transformative concept. The texts we analyze today not only challenge traditional perceptions, but also invite us to reflect on our own connection with the divine. What does it mean for you to see God as a creator who is also a reflection of who you are? These hidden revelations show us that the relationship with the Father goes far beyond worship. It is an invitation to understand the essence of love, the vital force that connects us all. Have you ever stopped to think about how this perspective can change the way you live your daily life? How does this impact your relationships and your search for purpose? By rescuing these teachings, we can rewrite the narrative of our spirituality. What changes can you implement in your life now that you have this new vision? What do forgotten texts have to teach us about unconditional love and creation? Continue exploring, questioning, and venturing into this universe of lost knowledge. After all, the journey of knowledge never ends, and each discovery can be the beginning of a new transformation. What will be the next mystery you unravel?